Welcome to the Debrief.
Hi guys.
Hiya.
Look at us, we're in a new place.
I know. You haven't seen these drapes before, have
No,
you?
you certainly haven't. We're like Narnia. Every now and again, we end up in a different location.
You'll never
don't
know
we?
where we are.
Yeah, just to keep you on your toes.
You'll never know.
How are you feeling, Pete?
I'm feeling fabulous. How are you feeling?
I'm good. How's your week been?
Oh my God. It has been a bit feral.
Yeah.
It's been a bit
Well,
feral.
last week. How's last week been?
Last week's been a bit feral. It's one of those things where you're like, not another one. And you know when
I
you feel like
know.
you just tick one thing off and then like 5 other things come up and you're like, oh.
Are you joking me?
I
Actually,
see.
do you know what hit me over the edge? Was I was on a run.
Yeah.
And it was muddy and I stacked.
Did you?
Stacked it.
went
Like I
flying.
was running.
Yeah.
And you know how you try and miss like the little puddles?
Yeah.
So I leapt.
Oh.
I thought I was in the ballet.
Oh,
and I was like, boom, in
big
the
jump.
air.
Yeah.
And just went into like a full on split. Because I'm flexible.
Because you stretched
Yeah,
beforehand.
Stretch, yeah.
Yeah.
And I honestly stack it. And the worst bit about it is people, are you okay?
Oh, that is
Don't
the worst.
embarrass
It's a
me like
shame.
that.
This is
Like-
it's a shame. Are you all right? It wasn't that bad, guys.
Honestly, it was fine. Okay, it's just a bit of mud.
I've never felt pain in my
honestly
life.
just a
Like,
bit of
I'm
mud.
literally fine.
Humiliated though, humiliated, and it was all up my back, all up my bum, and I was wearing shorts, so it literally looked like I shat myself. Right, should we get into it
Let's
because we've got
crack
an
on.
exciting episode?
Yes, such an exciting episode.
So tell me your mantra.
My mantra this week is, I love myself just as I am.
Yeah, you do.
Bit of Bridget Jones there. He likes me just as I am.
Oh, I love that quote.
I know.
Is it Colin Firth who says it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So why did you need that this week?
I feel like with all the stress and all the chaos, I think it's very easy to then like lose track of other things. Like
Yeah.
my room was then untidy because I just felt so chaotic. And I thought, no, do you know what? Don't beat yourself down for that.
Yeah.
Love yourself.
Oh,
'Cause
you
you'll
know
clean
it.
it up eventually. You know
Yeah.
you will.
I think it does take time to be like to adjust to your own like routine as well.
yeah.
Like you've got so many things going on at the moment. You're trying to like
Yeah.
navigate the pod as well as doing your MA and
Yeah.
everything as well.
Yeah.
So once you get into your routine, it settles
Yes,
out. But
yeah.
at the start, it's like when you move a house. It's the worst thing you could possibly do.
Yeah, truly.
Like, oh my God, I thought I'd lost my life when we had to move flats. Like,
Oh, I don't know. The stress.
I was like, well, it was when we
stressful.
turned up in the flat and there was no bed.
Oh,
I tell you,
Oh.
and then this week we got home.
yeah.
Anyway, I got
Oh.
home from the gym and there's this wet patch on my carpet. And I'm like,
dripping.
God, Archie was desperate. And I was like, I'm just like, why is there a wet patch? I look up at the ceiling and the ceiling's dripping, like absolutely dripping. And it's like, and I was like, you got to be joking me.
You
Like,
got
you've
not
to be
another
And I
one.
was just like, the tears are coming, the tears are coming. But
Truly.
I know. Okay,
Truly.
so let me tell you my mantra for
Tell me.
this week. I deserve the love I keep giving to others.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
so
know.
lovely. You do.
Thanks, girl.
You
I just
do.
think it's so important to you put so much effort into
Yeah.
friendships
Yeah.
or your relationship or your family. And sometimes if you don't give that back, I do think it's a bit of a realization. Like, well, what is this relationship? What
Yeah.
is this friendship?
Yeah.
You know? And I think one person this week like gave me so much that I was like, okay. Do you know what I mean? I just
yeah.
felt so deserving of that
Yes.
relationship and
Yeah.
that friendship.
Oh, I love
And
that.
So cute.
Tell me a song.
Oh, I'll sing it to you.
Sing.
Okay.
Serenade me.
What's wrong with being? What's wrong with being? What's wrong with being confident?
Ah. Yes.
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 Oh, Demi Lovato, Confident.
Oh, I love
Classic.
it.
Oh,
I
it's a
love
classic.
it.
I know, so good. And because our podcast this week
Yes.
is all about self-love,
Yes.
which we'll go on to in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Confident, put it on. Like, seriously, what is wrong with being confident? And at the start, isn't she just like, people are like putting her down.
Yeah.
She's just like, and God, hasn't she been on an arc?
Yes.
She's been on a journey, hasn't she?
She has.
What's your song? Sing it to me.
My song is I'm feeling myself.
I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling my... Oh,
Feeling
who
myself.
sing that?
Beyonce, Feet.
Oh,
Nicki Minaj.
so...
Nicki.
Feet. I used
Feet.
to always wonder what feet meant. Like I thought like there might be some... Do you know what I genuinely thought of feet meant?
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't think it was spelled like V-E-A-T. I thought it was like V-E-E-T. And I thought it was like
Oh.
feet, like a bit of them contributed.
Oh.
Like a part of them, but not all. So just their feet. Like not... And I didn't mean it literal, like their feet were in it, like playing the tambourine.
Yeah, but
I meant
only a
like
little bit of them.
just a teeny bit, like a tenth.
Well, that's actually quite logical.
Well, yeah.
Not just a hat rack. Not just a hat rack like that.
True.
Makes
I know.
that
It
makes
does
sense
make
to me. Yeah.
Okay, so our recommendation for this week.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Recommendation
is exciting. We have got a really special guest on.
We do.
Our biggest guest so far.
I know, we're
which
so
we're really looking forward to.
excited.
So our recommendation for this week is Self Love Live, which is an Instagram handle
Yeah.
with 150,000 followers,
Yeah.
and she specialises in self-love,
Oh,
fashion, and mindsets, as well as mental health.
100%.
We have got her on this week, and we will
We're so
introduce her
excited.
very soon, which we're really excited for. But I think she is someone who is very influential online, and I think, girls, she would be someone who really helps you with your positive mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
With your own self love and appreciation.
Yeah.
So I would definitely go and give her a follow and just go through her account, because she says some very, very interesting things.
So uplifting. And in the month of love as well, guys.
In the month of love.
In the month of love, it doesn't just have to be romantic love. It can be self-love.
Yeah. Well,
I
it
love
is the
February
most-
for this.
Yeah. Self-love is the most important love.
100%.
And you can't go on to any other kind of love until you
In the
can
words
stand yourself.
of RuPaul,
Yeah.
if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else?
I
Can
love
I
it.
get an amen?
Amen.
Yeah.
I got you.
Oh, fabulous.
Okay. Oh, so we're so excited for the
Super
episode
excited,
today. And we
yes.
have got a very special guest, which we have said earlier in the episode. And please debrief us. Get ready to introduce our lovely guest, Liv. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very sweaty. I'm not even going to lie about it.
Yeah.
I'm sweaty.
We rescued you, didn't we?
Yes,
yeah, from
I
the bus
did.
stop.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And I was dripping with sweat. I was like, I'm going to smell. This is so bad.
So you're looking great. You've got your lovely
you.
Valentine's nails on.
Oh,
you're looking
gorgeous.
stunning. I love
Thank
it.
you, I do
How was the
try.
journey here? Was it okay?
It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
No one, did anything wrong.
That's
was
good.
brilliant.
It's always a nice thing. Because normally I've the amount of train journeys I've been on where they've started to vape on the train, I'm like, if I can't, no.
No.
Tip for
Yeah.
tat.
And they'll stop the train. They'll be like, if you don't stop, we're not going. And I'm like, please, God,
Please.
just- no.
Like, if they are, can't I? Like, can we all
Yeah,
join
oh,
it?
yeah. It's a thing now.
It's a thing. Great.
Come
Wind
on, then.
down the window.
yeah.
Let's get hot in here.
Literally. No, absolutely fine, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Gorgeous.
Well, we're
Good.
so grateful for you to come.
Yes.
Thank you for
Liv's
having
from
me.
Birmingham, so she's made the journey to
I'm
come
a
here.
Brummie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are. Yeah.
Brummie.
Have you always had an accent? Have you always
Do you
had
think I have an accent?
a little bit?
Do I?
wouldn't, if I'd met you for the first time, which I have just now.
Yeah.
I would say I could hear a little bit, but it's not obvious.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. It's subtle, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very subtle. One might say. Yeah.
One might say subtle, yeah.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Do your parents have a strong accent?
I don't think I don't hear it in my own voice, obviously, but like people often say to me, "You sound Brummie." I'm like, "Oh no, no."
It's so funny how you can pick up accents. So, like my friend that I told you about, who
Yeah.
lives in Birmingham, she was there for a year and she came back Brummie, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Like a
what?
chameleon, yeah.
Complete
Yeah.
chameleon. It's
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
It's like
trying to
my
do it.
partner James. He will go to somewhere if he's serving a customer somewhere.
Yeah.
If they're from anywhere else in the world, he will start talking in their accent.
Yes, I do this.
And it's so embarrassing.
Yeah, yes, it is.
My mum does it. She's Australian. When she gets on the phone, she's like, "All right." And I'm like, "Mum, like,
What?
I'm like, just be yourself. They'll love you for you."
Be
It's like,
you, man.
Yeah. Talking about you, let's get into it.
Let's crack in.
We've brought you onto the podcast because you are a digital creator
I am.
in all things mental health, fashion, and self-love. And most importantly, what we want to cover is the self-love today.
Delicious.
Yes,
Delicious.
it's February. It's the month of love. But personally, we think the most important love is self-love.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to ask you, what does self-love mean to you?
Oh God, it means absolutely everything. Like I think self-love is such an important thing to have in your life. And I think people presume that like it's selfish,
How interesting.
that it's kind of you're cocky, you're arrogant, but I think it's a way to release shame from yourself.
Okay.
We're kind of taught, especially as women,
Yeah.
we're taught to be quiet, we're taught to be, don't make any noise, don't be angry, don't be bossy. Can I swear?
Yeah, oh my
Absolutely.
God.
You swear.
Thank you. Fuck that. Be loud, be
Yeah.
bossy.
Yeah.
And I think self-love is such a needed thing in this society.
Yeah.
I see girls and boys, younger and younger now, feeling low and off. Like TikTok, I think, as good as it can be, it's starting to become this almost trend to feel, to not be what I'm trying to say is, Do you remember Tumblr?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
I feel
Kylie
like
Jenner's Tumblr. I remember that.
I feel
yeah.
like TikTok's becoming the new Tumblr.
Okay.
So yeah,
And I
you're
don't
so
know
right.
if it's a good thing.
Okay.
Because Tumblr to me, we're going back like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Show my age. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh my God.
Young at heart. Young at heart.
Young soul, young soul.
I was born yesterday, actually. So.
A baby.
Yeah.
But Tumblr back then was toxic. It was very much like negative images. It was
Yes.
encouraging this awful behaviour.
Mm.
I feel like TikTok is kind of becoming that now.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many trends. Like, I don't know if you've seen the legging legs.
Oh, I have
No.
seen that, yes.
Oh my God, it's the most baffling thing in the entire
God.
world. It's basically saying that you have to have a certain type of leg to wear leggings.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
And
wish
it's
I
like
was.
it's a thing at the moment.
Oh,
It's
God.
so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes me think like self-love is so fucking needed right now.
Yes. Yeah.
So needed.
And can I ask, on your Instagram, you say something pretty profound. You said that self-love isn't selfish.
No.
And in fact, it saved your life.
Yes.
And can you tell us and the Debrief listeners what you would define self-love as?
Oh, I think it's a power tool.
Oh my gosh, wow.
I think it's a power tool. I think if you have self-love and you have self-worth, nothing can stop you.
Okay.
No one can kind of, if you create this like almost self-love barrier, no negativity can get in. And you're not affected by anyone really.
Yeah.
And that's fucking powerful.
That's so powerful.
is, yeah.
Wow, I actually got goosebumps.
Yeah.
It's a power tool, so I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
But
Truly.
seriously, I remember some advice that I was given at a really young age, and I've never let it go. And it was called putting your Teflon coat on whenever you feel negativity. And when I slip my Teflon coat on,
Yeah.
all those negatives are like raindrops.
They wash
and they
off.
just wash off me, and
I
they
love
can't
that.
hit me, they can't hurt
Yeah.
me. And I think that is such a great tool with self-love. You
Yeah.
really have to let those raindrops hit and let
Absolutely.
them go away.
So unfortunately, we live in a day and age where free speech is a thing,
Yeah.
whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
And you know, there are people on the internet who are downright mean.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of allow that to happen, because the more negativity I get personally, the more I feel stronger. My self-love increases. It has to. It has to. Otherwise, I'll just crumble.
Yeah.
You have to build this barrier of like, okay, well, I know who I am as a person.
Okay.
I know what I like. I know who I am. I know what I'm about. Your words can't affect me because I know who I am.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's why I'm good what I do, actually. Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
Some people say I'm a professional.
No one says that.
We do. So it's on.
So, as a digital creator, so self-love being so important, mental health and fashion as well,
Yes.
that you find so important. You're very open online, emotionally and physically, and you have your tattoos as well, which I
do.
love.
I'm doing pretty covered. Yeah.
I love, and one of them says "I am enough," which I absolutely adore.
I
I was like, oh
do
my
I
god,
have that
I
one?
was like,
so many now.
Yeah,
Trust me, there's so many.
But that was our favourite. The
Yeah,
I am
that is-
enough.
yeah, I
That's
like that
lovely.
one.
and that's something my mum always says to me.
love that.
She always, and that's her like affirmation constantly.
so powerful.
So I absolutely love that it's such a it's a universal statement, but it
Yeah.
can empower so much.
100%.
Yeah.
So how did you get started trying to? Not influence is the wrong word, isn't it? But like influencing, but documenting your journey.
Yes, that's really interesting. I think let's rewind it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I started Instagram. It was late November 2016, and I don't know why I remember that so much. I don't remember anything but these ridiculous facts that no one needs.
I'm like, wow.
No one
It
needs
was
to have.
5:25 p.m.
Yeah, I was sitting on the bed,
Fluffy slippers on.
and I literally did it. I had about 300 followers, which were all people that I knew from like college,
Yeah.
school, work, whatever.
Yeah.
And I did a post, literally like a then and now. It was me at prom when I was probably at one of my illest. I was very underweight. I was
Right.
self-harming. I was just a sad human being.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to now, I mean, I was like, more positive, more aware of myself. And that post got like 300 likes. And I thought, I did the math and I was like, every single one of my followers is like that post. I went back into my page and it got up to 800. I was like, that's really weird. I thought, I was saying to James, like, James, look at this. He was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Wow.
And I thought, okay, I'm going to maybe people needed to see this. It's
Okay.
kind of this message of hope and like you can get through the hard days. And it kind of snowballed from there.
Oh, amazing.
And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, how the fuck did this happen?
Yeah.
Were you apprehensive or nervous about opening up about your own journey?
Yeah, because I think it was weird because it's people I knew.
Yeah.
And it was almost like this
Very vulnerable.
shame of like, okay, I have to admit I needed help.
Okay.
And there's nothing to be shameful about that at all. But at the time I was like, oh, this feels a bit weird, you know. But it was so empowering to say, look, I was in a bad place.
Yeah.
I've come out of that bad place now. I'm going to try and help. That's my goal. My kind of goal was to make sure that my school friends never ended up like I was.
Oh.
And so
Was that the driving force?
was the
as to why-
drive, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
And
wow.
from that post, I had people from my school message me saying, I felt the exact same way you did at school, but I didn't tell anyone. I was like, me too, yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
And that kind of became the driving force for me to think, something's happening here. I'm going to keep doing this.
Okay.
And see where it gets me. And somehow, here we are,
Yeah.
5 years later or whatever.
And do you feel, from your own experiences, that's built more of an understanding for then why you show it with other people?
100%.
Okay.
I think throughout my life, the one kind of key thing is I've never felt enough.
Okay.
And through a variety of methods, I've realised that, like, why do I speak to myself this way? I don't speak to anybody else this way. My mum, my best friend, James, my mum's cat, who I love dearly.
Yeah.
I never speak ill of any of them. Why do I do this to myself?
Yeah.
I had to really think, like, why, like, you know, you have to, like, get deep with yourself and think, why am I doing this to myself? I think it's just because, like, growing up, I never felt like I was enough for anyone. And no one's made me feel that way. It's the weirdest thing ever. No one made me feel like I wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It was all in my head. And, like, living with bipolar disorder, you have these kind of thoughts of, like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, this and that. And it's really hard to kind of get yourself out of that mindset. But my best advice for anyone who's dealing with whatever mental health issue you're going through is talk about it.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've rang my mum, I've gone, Mum, I feel like crap.
Yeah.
She's gone, let's talk about it. I'm like, okay.
It is the best medicine.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
So
truly
good.
is. Yeah.
So good.
And as you've experienced, showing those vulnerabilities and things that you were scared about, so many people related to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said, I felt that too.
You feel
And-
so alone in your struggles, but 9 times out of 10, someone's going through it as well.
Yeah.
No, you're completely right. And I feel like, honestly, like, what you're saying now is so relatable on so many levels.
Yeah.
Like, just that feeling of not feeling enough, I've definitely struggled with for years and years, and I still
It's
feel
so
like it
sad.
creeps in. And it's like you said, no, I get this from no one else.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, the pressure that I feel like, well, as a woman, I feel like we put on ourselves to kind of
100%.
tick all these boxes and spin all these plates at the same
Yeah.
time is so overwhelming. And especially, like you said, with TikTok, with Tumblr at the time,
Yeah.
you're then seeing a false representation
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
what perfect should look
Should be.
like. And it's one of those really interesting things that when you can curate your social media feed to be with creators like you who are so empowering and so honest,
Yeah.
it just makes everything feel a lot more human.
Completely.
Yeah, I think like there's so much pressure now, especially as you're saying for
Yeah.
women. I don't blame those ones who use filters and that use Photoshop. I don't blame them at all because the amount of pressure and negatives they must get in order to have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. Completely.
And even when they kind of say, like, I was watching a post the other day on TikTok. I'm not going to mention the name, but she was like, "I'm done using filters now," and the comments were like brutal.
Really?
And the next post, she's back using filters.
Oh,
I was
how
like,
sad.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
How sad. And also so sad that everyone is beautiful. Everyone is
Absolutely.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And, you know, you cannot compare a butterfly to the ocean. Both
Yeah.
things are beautiful
Yeah.
themselves, but why are
100%.
you comparing?
100%.
And this whole opening up about your journey and everyone else's journey of not feeling enough, it's terrifying to admit fault. It's not fault,
Yes.
but that's how it feels because as women, we are compared all the time.
Yes.
So if you then admit, oh, well, I'm not struggling, I'm actually struggling, and so, oh, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm trying to reach here and I'm
Yeah.
trying to build
Yeah.
connections. I also wanted to ask you, so you have spoken about your mental health journey. And you're very open online, mentally, your own path and why it's made you want to reach out to other people.
Yeah.
But how did your journey, what's the right word? How were you navigated to a place where you felt that you could manage those feelings yourself?
Ooh, I think it's just years of understanding, and I'm very pro medication, always have been. I take my meds every night.
Okay.
And they give me this, I'm not saying medication is like the cure for everything, but it helps me so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with talking to my friends and family and the medication, it gave me a more stable mindset of like, okay, well, now I'm stable. Let's really think about what I can do to prevent me going into a dip again.
Okay.
And I think in terms of navigating it, everyone goes through something in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to be a victim of my own past.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, I'm just going to move forward, and hopefully my past can, you know, create my future in a way, and like and help others create their future.
Lovely.
You know, I had a message, it was a few years ago now, of a mum,
Oh.
and she said that her daughter had watched a post of mine and had come up to her room and said, "Mom, I need to talk to you about something." And had this big conversation about like her mental health and things that had happened to her. And the mum messaged me and said, like, "I just want to say thank you, because without you, I don't know what she would have done."
Oh
That
my
was
gosh, that's
That must be
that's
so
overwhelming.
It was
overwhelming.
like, oh my God, it was unbelievably humbling.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you do feel like, I'm one person, what can I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are one person.
Doing
But actually, you are
Doing
doing so
so
much
much.
because, as you said
Yeah.
at the start, when it was just, 800 likes in 2016, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
If you put
No, but,
800 people in a room,
800
That's a
people.
lot.
a lot of
You
people.
know,
Lot of
social
people.
media has escalated since
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But in 2016, 800 likes was
A
a
lot of
thing.
people.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
And with that growth, with you saying earlier, the reason why I started this whole self-love journey, the reason why I exposed it was so that I could help other people, and that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, it's wild.
That would have been
yeah.
quite a moment for your journey.
It was.
as well.
It was like it was almost just a reminder of what I need to keep doing
Okay.
and to keep going. You know, I have moments I'm like, I'm going to quit social media. I'm done with this. I'm terrible at this, and I have to ground myself almost and say, there are people out there who need this support.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just one person, because it's one person, you are the world. So you've got to keep going.
And and with the self-love journey specifically, can I ask how old you are?
31.
31 and sexy as ever.
Yeah.
Hello. She's like, I'm shy. 31. You've obviously been through a lot. And at what point in your life did you feel that you had learned self-love, and how did you do that?
I don't think you ever learn self-love. I think it's a journey.
Okay.
It's no destination. You're not going to get up one day and be like, I found self-love. I am finished.
I'm the Buddha.
Done.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good night.
Got it. Yeah.
All knowing.
Never going to happen.
Okay.
But there are, obviously, even I have days I wake up and think, you know what? No, not today.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank you. But on those days, I have to practice self-worth.
Okay. And what does that mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Allowing myself to feel the emotions I'm feeling.
Okay.
I know that I'm worthy of getting to the point of self-love. Because when you're in a really low mindset,
Yeah.
you often think, well, I don't want self-love. I'm not worthy of self-love. I don't deserve to love myself. I am ugly. I am this. I am that.
Yeah.
Start off with self-worth. You need to realise that you're worthy
Yeah.
of loving yourself. You don't have to love yourself tonight
Yeah.
or tomorrow, but you're worthy of making those changes in order to feel better about yourself, your body, your mind, whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. And how did you find this as a method?
Really
And-
no. I think I might have had like a dream one night. I don't know.
It came to me. It just
came to me in the night.
It hit me and I just knew.
I was like, this is it. This is it.
I'll be big online. Like, people love this. They
I
love
have no
it.
idea. I think it's just like, I've always been the type of friend to give advice to my friends.
Okay.
Never followed it myself, which is annoying.
That's so interesting,
But
isn't it?
we move.
Yeah.
But they always come to me and say, like, Liv, I've got a boyfriend problem. Like, just get rid of him. It's fine.
Yeah.
Find a new one. Whatever.
Yeah.
They're out there.
Yeah. But giving it versus taking it is
It's
very
like-
it's
different
very
story.
different.
Yes,
Yeah.
like I'm one of the oldest people in my workplace.
Okay.
And they're all like in the 19, 20-year-olds. And they come to me like a mum figure.
Oh, how
And I love that and hate that.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm
girls.
like, oh, thank you so much. And also, I'm 31, guys.
Yeah, like
transfer down.
please.
Still young,
Yeah.
okay?
I'm still cool, okay?
Let me show you my cool tattoos, okay?
Yeah.
Let me
Cool moves, man.
Brilliant. Can I ask how, as 31 versus 21, is that a
You're
big
21.
I'm 21,
22.
you're 22.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I, you know, I want advice, like, where is that a big jump from in your 20s? We've got a lot of listeners who are in their
Ooh,
20s.
that's a really good point.
And they ask a lot about self-love and
Yeah.
very honestly ask us as well.
Yeah.
You know, and we've navigated that together.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
live together as well.
Love
so,
that.
you know, we share a lot of things. Was there a big gap for you between 21 and 31 and your journey with
Oh my
self-love?
God, humongous.
Okay,
When I was 21, I was probably drinking heavily, doing all sorts of illegal stuff. let's say.
Living a best life, guy.
I was not.
Yeah.
Very sad. I was self-harming, unfortunately, deep into this depression, just winging life,
Okay.
you know. And to be 31, to be nearly 5 years sober now, to be stable for a good year or so,
Yeah.
it's like a different person.
Wow.
I look at photos of my 21-year-old self, I don't recognise her.
Really?
I don't
It's like a different
I don't
person
remember
completely.
those years because
Yeah.
with bipolar disorder you have really bad memory problems and
yeah.
almost the depression, you kind of like, it becomes like a fog. So I don't remember my 18th birthday, my 21st birthday. I just knew I was sad.
Wow.
And so my birthday this year, it was very chilled. Literally just got a takeaway. I was
Lovely.
happy.
Yeah.
I was happy.
That's so
I was
lovely,
content. Like I wasn't fighting for perfection. I wasn't trying
Yeah.
to slim myself.
Yeah.
I was enough in that moment. And the biggest change, I think, is just realizing that no matter what is going on with your life, you are the only person who you will have from the moment you are born to the day you die. That's your person.
Yeah.
Like regardless of whoever's in your life, you are your own best friend. You are the one person who'll be with you for all the shit stuff you're going to go through,
Yeah.
all the illegal stuff.
Yeah.
It's your person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I try and almost kind of visualize myself as a different person.
Okay.
And why would I would never go up to a person and go, God, you're ugly.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Even saying that was like, oh, no, oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But like, you would never do that.
Yeah.
So if you visualize yourself as a different character, you know, it's a lot harder to go, oh, you know, and to say the words, I hate you, this almost being, is so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think
So
that's
hard.
a great message for the women in their 20s going forward in life, whether it's career or relationships, friendships, being like, you have to really look at yourself and think, that's the person that you're relying on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And treat that person kindly
Yeah.
and with love and
And if you
compassion.
are struggling with that, the best advice I can give you in this moment is get a picture of your younger self. I was like 5 or 6 years old. Put it on the mirror. I dare you to try and say something negative to that person. 'Cause that's still you.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
still you.
That's so powerful.
That's
Yeah.
really powerful.
Can I ask you, have you ever done that before?
Many times. And I've said
Wow.
that crying. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
It's hard.
Wow.
You cannot say anything negative about this young child.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then you realise, oh my God, that's still me.
Yeah.
How am I beating myself up? That's we're the same person here.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
And I'm sure it makes you reflect on your own journey and think, actually, do you know what, little Liv? We've been through a lot.
We have,
And haven't
yeah.
we, like, done well, you
I also
know?
want to slap myself for really silly decisions.
Yeah.
But that's for a different day. That's for a different episode.
I was saying,
plot.
Yeah.
I said to Katie the other day, I was watching home videos with my parents and how at such a young age, I have a sister, at such a young age, you see a personality and you're like, holy shit, like, look at me. You know, there was like a sass or, you know, a bit of anger or,
Yeah.
and you're like, how interesting. And that part of you shouldn't apologize for, you know, because you, as you said earlier, you grow up as a woman,
Yeah.
and if you're assertive, you're bossy,
Yeah.
you know, and if you're loud, you're obnoxious. So, and I was definitely a loud child, and I was definitely, you know, going on and quacking, and I was called bossy, and I was called, you know, obnoxious. But you look back and think, actually, that's you. And don't let those comments, would I say that to a young child? You
Of course
know,
not.
I just wouldn't. That's a great activity to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Especially being unapologetically yourself. Like when you said loving yourself can, like, people will view as selfish. It's so interesting because I've had many moments, especially last year, where I really shifted in putting myself first.
Yeah.
And that included me putting other people's feelings to the back burner,
Yeah.
where I was putting myself first and protecting myself, I felt like the worst person in the world.
Oh,
And it's one of those things that it can be so uncomfortable to do, but to recognize that to recognize that it's not selfish.
Yeah.
Is just, and the people that will stay.
100%.
Yeah.
100% they will, yeah.
What's the biggest mental either kind of game or technique you use to get on top of your self-love if you're feeling doubtful or on edge or just in need of a bit of self-love?
So this is going back to my like childhood. My grandma was very spiritual.
Okay.
We used to call her like the woo-woo grandma.
Oh, lovely.
Because she was, I remember one time walking to her house and she's got a fucking Ouija board on the table.
Oh my god,
I'm
I
like,
love
oh,
it.
please.
I love
She's
it.
like, do you want to join me? I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you got that great podcast, don't you?
Yeah.
With all things scary and
Send booze.
Yeah.
cheeky shout out there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and she was always kind of like believing in like the higher energy.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I
like,
love this.
and like
I love
even
that.
before I was like, I knew what manifestation was. She was always like, you know, you have energy around you. She was like, you've got lovely energy around you, Liv. And that was also lovely to hear. I think she had like oh God, grandma energy around her because she was so. My grandma, God bless your soul, grandma. She was the epitome of a strong woman.
Oh, I love that.
Strong, bossy, in your face, loud. Iconic.
Yeah.
Would never mince her words, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah.
we love women like
Yeah,
that.
God bless her.
Yeah.
She was very hard of hearing. One night, I used to be like a carer for her.
Oh.
Me and my mum were, and I was round hers cooking her dinner, and James was in the other room with her. And I could hear her going, God, she's so bossy, isn't she? I was like, Grandma, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I'm not the one who's deaf.
Yeah.
Okay.
My ears won't fly.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, I'm just talking to James. I'm like, yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. It's me.
It's the bossy one. Okay? Yeah.
But going back, like, I think she kind of taught me about like energies, and I think the more you put out the good energy, the more you receive.
Yes.
And I felt like,
You're talking to us.
Yeah, we love it. We love it.
Yeah, you couldn't have said anything better. Yeah, gold star.
Yeah.
Gold star, Liv.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
I just think if you're constantly being negative towards yourself, you're not going to get anything out of it.
Yes.
Is being negative to yourself going to bring you joy? No. Why not change the mindset?
100%.
Just try flip it on yourself. Just instead of saying, I feel really gross today, just say, you know what? I did a good job today at work. Just change the mindset.
Change those cogs. Like,
And you'll find
mechanics.
yourself, you'll kind of like stand up taller.
Yes.
And you will, because it's a
Yeah.
physical, it's a physical response to having good like feedback.
Yes.
When someone says to you, doing a good job, you go, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You feel like, oh, that's really nice. When someone says you're doing a shit job, you go, oh, you know,
Yeah.
you hunch over.
Yeah, you're hiding away.
You hide. You want to
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, but
Go into yourself.
yeah. So give yourself good feedback.
It's an intro because it reminds me of a post I saw on Instagram that says, instead of apologizing for being late, say thank you
Yes,
for waiting.
I love that. Yeah.
Oh,
and it just
fantastic.
flips it on its head. It's
Yeah.
stuff like that where once you express the gratitude,
Yes.
it just doesn't feel like a self-sabotaging, oh God, I'm so sorry, and then you fall down into that spiral of, but you're like, thank you for waiting.
Oh, that is boss bitch energy.
And I love it.
You're almost, when you
That's
say I'm sorry for
fantastic.
this, you're waiting for someone to go, I forgive you. You're waiting for
Yes.
someone to say,
Asking,
I allow you to feel better about the situation. Once you say thank you for waiting for me, you're in control of the situation.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I absolutely love it.
And it takes a long time to get that mindset.
Oh, it's not an
It
overnight
really, really,
thing.
yeah,
Absolutely. Like, my
completely.
grandma was 94 and she was still doing all the Ouija board shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
God
wish
bless
I
her.
could have met her. Like
Oh.
that kind of
Mental.
stuff, that energy,
No offense, grandma.
that energy. But that when she says you've got such an energy
Yeah.
about you, how empowering is that?
She was, I mean, I would always say her and my mum are the most empowering, bossy, strong women. Like, I mean, my grandma
love that.
survived the war.
Yeah.
I just think like, gosh,
Yeah.
you're old, grandma.
Yeah.
She's like, excuse me.
Like your friends into work be like, that's all.
Yeah. Wheel her in. But yeah, she was very. And when me and my mum have this code word now. So whenever I'm having a bad day, she just go, woo woo. I'm like, woo woo. She go, think of grandma, and I was like, yeah, you're right.
Oh, I love
And
that.
it's almost like this, and I always think to myself, like, I am made of my grandma, my mum, my great grandma, my dad. Why would I be mean about the ancestors that have made me who I am today?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
You're made up of like so many different people in your life from
Yeah.
like literally many moons ago. And also I want to say this: the chance of you being born is 1 in 400 trillion.
That's wild.
1 in 400 trillion chances, and you're being mean about yourself.
That is so
It's true though. Like,
No, but you're so right.
I know, right?
So right.
You're actually really good at this. Oh my gosh.
It's true though. Like, why we spend so much time hating ourselves? It's,
Yeah.
it's a miracle we're here.
Yeah.
Enjoy every moment. Like, life's too short. I know people say that all the time, but it's so short to worry about a bit of fat on your hips.
Yeah.
God, who gives
So
a shit?
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who cares?
No.
Yeah.
It comes down to the nitty gritty stuff. When you're on your deathbed, I don't be saying, "Oh, wish I was £5 lighter." I'm thinking, God, wish I did this instead.
Yeah.
Wish I'd
Yeah.
jumped off the cliff and enjoyed my life more.
Yeah.
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 And with you saying, it made me reflect on my own like family and stuff, but with you saying, oh, the strongest and most beautiful people in my life, my grandma and my mum and all that kind of stuff. And that's you as well.
Yeah.
Like that power and that strength that they have has made you and made you be able to influence a lot of people. And without them, you wouldn't have been able to do that.
Exactly.
And that is pretty special. And I just thought, oh my gosh, you're so true. You can look at all the people in your family and think, that jigsaw puzzle I've got and that little piece I've got as well. And that's, Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you ever do the tarot cards?
Love that shit.
Yeah.
I honestly the TikTok tarot readings that tell me I'm
really?
going to meet the love of my life every 5 minutes. I love.
You're like-
But I know, like now, my mum has like an oracle deck, and every time I ring her, like I'm feeling really stressed. She's like, pull a card.
Pull a
Pull a
card.
card. She was like, I pulled an angel card this morning. It was bang on. Just pull one. And I've got my little booklet, so I always like shuffle them and pull a card whenever I'm feeling stressed, and it's always spot on.
Really love that.
Always spot on. I love it so much.
I have like a box of crystals. I like on my windowsill. James like, well, those rocks. I'm like, don't you fucking
rocks.
dare.
Don't you touch them that way?
He's lucky he's still with me, honestly.
Yep.
The rocks.
I've got like a crystal charged sage spray.
Oh,
I know,
that's erotic.
I know.
Oh, God.
Literally, the new year came in. I was like, let's cleanse this space.
I actually took it to an extreme, so I have these like little crystals.
Yeah.
That like there was something big in my life, so my mum got me them, and she was like, "Okay, let's treasure."
Yeah,
One of them was like for like bravery and all of this kind of stuff, and the other one was just for like fulfillment and confidence. And anyway, I held them, and I saw this thing on TikTok saying like, if you sleep with your crystals, not sexually, guys, like not sexually. You could if you want, but not. You have fun, okay?
Yeah.
But if you sleep with your crystals under your pillow, or whatever, then they'll like seep into your being. Anyway, I did for a few months. My poor boy. Every night I'd have them, like, and typical. I'd wake up with them in his mouth, like.
Yeah.
He's like, the only one benefiting here is me. 'Cause I'm chewing on them.
Was they all wish? You were
Yeah,
like,
I was like, take them back. I was like,
men, I mean, God bless them.
Oh,
God bless them. But the
bless.
crystals I don't understand at all.
the crystal. I've never spoken to a man
Well,
who's got
no.
the crystal.
no, I haven't.
Never.
I've never.
You got our other male housemate a crystal.
Because he's a boozer. So I said, look,
He loves a
why
drink.
don't we get a crystal for self-control, the black onyx?
No,
Yeah,
love that.
so I put it next to his bedside table. Not as passive aggressive, but
Yeah.
supportive.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, look, let's all support one another.
Yes.
I said, is it helping? No. I was like, he's Scottish.
Yeah.
No.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Well, the accent was a
Yeah,
lie.
like what is that? No. And I was like, well, you just need to believe in it.
Yeah.
It's like you need to seep in the
yeah.
energy. I was like, boys, come on.
I just can't grasp it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so we've covered how you can mentally support your self-love, but we're going to play a little game for how you can physically support your self-love.
Sex.
Yes.
We're gonna have sex now.
Yeah.
No, it's this kind of podcast again. Okay, so we're going to put headphones on you
Okay.
and we're going to play your favourite music, which you told
Yes.
us earlier. What is it, Liv? What is your favourite music? It's your time.
Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo.
You know, I don't have
Jason
shame about a lot of
Derulo.
things, but this I have shame about.
Oh, never.
Well, if this is your only shame, you're doing well. What we're going to do is we have written down some of your favourite physical ways
Oh, no.
to express self-love, and we are going to whisper them to
Oh
you
no!
while you have these headphones on,
Okay.
and see if you get them.
Okay.
Because you can recognise self-love, but let's see if you can recognise it on these lips.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see.
Right.
Okay.
Put those on.
Got to make sure it's playing, or she could cheat.
And I've got there's so much. Oh, actually, this is my favourite Jason Derulo song, so I'm really hoping that that you can agree. Let's see.
Agree.
Agree. Is it play? Yeah.
Living the best life. Okay.
For the listeners, it is Wiggle feat Snoop Dogg.
Fantastic. Now, Katie, we're going to do some ASMR. I'm going to whisper. Are you ready? The first one is dance around in lingerie.
That's my lingerie.
Yes! Point to you. Well done. Okay. Number 2.
Move your body.
Move your body.
Yes! Well done.
Fabulous.
Talk to
A
a
loved
loved
one.
one. She's good at that. She's practicing in the mirror.
Okay. Treat yourself
Treat yourself
like
like a best
friend.
Well done.
Smashed it.
You can take that.
Smashed
Well
it.
done. Fantastic.
Enjoying the wiggle.
Could you explain those to us? Like, tell us all about that theory.
They sound so simple, but I think in the long run, they're just great tips and tools to kind of best you not only your mental health,
Yeah.
but your self-love. Like the dance in your underwear thing, people look at me like I'm absolutely crazy crackers.
real.
They're like, what? But if you never see you, I'm like, I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
Honestly.
You actually put a story on the other day saying someone said, like, I was so strange for doing this, and then you did it more.
Yeah.
Like, what a legend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
funny.
I just think like there's nothing more empowering if you put on like a good playlist like Megan Thee Stallion.
Please.
Put her on.
I love her.
And put some underwear and you'll feel like a bad bitch in no time.
No, truly. I actually, like, I've said this to you before. I remember the most recent time I did it, I had a freshers. I'm on a master's at the moment. And I feel like, I don't know about you, but I feel like the older I get, the worse I am socially. So
Same, yeah, same.
So I literally was like, oh my God, like,
Crazy.
I need to try and like be outgoing and the most confident
Yeah.
version of myself.
Yeah.
And I remember I got ready and I was just dancing around to Lizzo in me undies.
That'd be dope.
And I thought,
Did it make you
this
feel
is
better?
fabulous. Yeah, because you're kind of almost like, this is so silly, but it's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I love just doing a little wiggle because you're like,
Wiggle
this is
it
so
out.
silly.
It's also like when you go out for dinner or something and you're just not feeling it and you're like, oh, what am I doing? Like, and then you fully get ready and you put the music on and you're like, oh God, I feel
Again,
like
it
now.
comes back to energy.
Yes.
If
it's
you're
the energy.
kind of bringing this like positive, happy, like dancey energy.
Yeah.
Like, like, my mum says, like, if imagine you walk into a room and you've got your shoulders down, you're looking at your phone, you don't look approachable.
No.
If you walk in like shoulders back, head held high, like hi.
Yeah.
You're approachable. People
Yeah.
want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling to walk into a room with confidence, just pretend.
Yes.
Pretend.
Play
You
that character.
You don't, pretend you're fucking. Give me an actress.
Margot Robbie.
Thank you. I was thinking Meryl Streep. Show me age. Margot Robbie. Yeah, not Meryl.
Streep. She's
yeah.
very good.
Yeah, Meryl Streep.
She's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, and just embody that energy of like, this is your role. You're an actress in a role.
Yeah.
You're about to win a Golden Globe.
Oh, lovely.
Pretend, fake it.
Lovely. Do the Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
Just won my first Grammy.
I love her so much.
that
She
video.
looks sensational.
Stunning.
Oh my God.
The hair.
I just
it was
won
the
my
hair.
first Grammy. I was like,
I know. I watched it like so
I feel
many
like
times.
I'd won a Grammy too. It's like so good.
We did it.
Miley.
And I love the comment. She was like, "Why is everyone acting like they don't know the song?" I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you're
She
so
is the
good."
girl boss of self-love.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
Great.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the treat yourself like a best friend. What do you mean by that?
So basically,
Physically.
like I mentioned before, like if you know we've all got a best friend,
Yeah.
or someone that we can rely on, you would never talk to them the way you talk about yourself.
Okay.
You never say to them, "God, you're not good enough." I would never, ever.
Yeah.
First of all, my best friend Kate would batter me.
Yeah.
I'd allow that. And secondly, it's just rude. So why do we talk about it to ourselves?
Yeah,
So
okay.
treat yourself like you would a loved one, your family, parents, your partner, your best friend,
Yeah.
with the same respect and kindness you give everybody else.
Yeah.
Bring it back to yourself.
Lovely.
I love it.
That's very nice. That's
Honestly,
so nice.
it's like taking yourself on a date. I love
Solo dates.
Oh,
Oh,
love
love a
Lovely.
solo date.
Same.
What's
Love
your
it.
favourite solo date that you do?
Has to be for food.
Yeah. Oh,
Has to
yeah.
go for food. I went for pancakes earlier.
Oh,
Love it.
oh my
Great.
god, I love
We're
pancakes.
saying,
honestly.
We were
saying,
saying
yeah.
what our go-tos are with the
I'm a
toppings.
sweet kind of gal.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've ever gotten a savoury pancake.
No.
Why are you doing that?
Why?
Do you know what that is? That's such a male thing. My dad always has
yeah,
male
savoury
pancakes.
pancake.
Yeah,
Bacon.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
See, I'm like a lemon sugar,
Interesting.
but I do love.
She's like, I don't agree. But
yeah,
interesting.
but there's
Interesting. You suck.
yeah, worst choice ever. Worst choice ever. There's a pancake van that used to be really elusive actually near where we live that would always manage to be there when Kitty went, but when I wanted to go, it was never there. So
Van?
it was. They come
live in the
at the
Wizard of
weekend.
Oz?
No, truly. Like I'd be like, I'm ready for the pancakes, and they're like, we're not here today. We're here next weekend, and I'm like, guys.
And I'm,
It was
every
truly
time I'm
so
like,
upsetting.
give them to me. Give
They
them to me.
do Nutella and marshmallow with a bit of cream, and I'm like, delightful.
Fantastic.
Delightful.
They are so yummy. Move your body. Is that like what do you mean by that?
Physical. I've recently got into walking.
Okay.
Yes.
Love a good hot girl walk.
Oh,
Love a
we
hot
do
girl
the long
walk.
one, don't we?
Love
Round the
it.
river. Yeah.
I feel like I'm not talking for a fucking marathon because
Yeah.
God knows I'm not going to be doing that this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just gentle movement in the
Yeah.
fresh air.
Yeah.
Bit of sunshine if the sun is shining.
Yeah.
Boost your vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
Boost those endorphins.
Yeah.
Because I call them endorphins because I don't know how to
I love it. Yeah.
autocorrect. You know.
But dolphins are so happy, so it works.
Dolphins are
Yeah.
fucking delightful creatures.
They
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And one more time. Thank you.
Oh, Liv, you can stay. Love it. I do so get you though, because if you feel a bit, especially we always say it when we're on our period.
Oh, the good time.
We always the good time.
Best week of my life.
And you
Yeah.
think, you sit in bed and you think, do you know what? No, Katie. I'm like, we're just going to sit here.
Yeah.
But when you do get out,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I actually feel a
It's-
lot
oh my
better.
God,
do you know what I
Do
mean?
you ever remember, like in PE, when your teachers would be like, "You'll feel," when I'd be, "Oh, I've got my really bad cramps, I can't do PE." They're
You'll
like,
feel
"You'll be
better."
better for moving." I'm like, "You're full of shit," and then I do it,
and then
I'm
you're like,
"Oh,
you are
wow."
right there.
Yeah.
Catherine,
You-
yeah,
I
you
love
are.
I love you. Literally doing cross country, like,
could you do this
you're
to me?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
I do love actually, even when it rains though, going for a walk, I feel like the main character in a movie.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I have to make a decision, you know, when it's like at that point in the movie where they're like, who's
Yeah.
you going to choose? What's going to happen? I'm just walking around like so mysterious.
Like Twilight.
I'm like, no one knows my story.
I'm so unique.
The main character.
Bring it
What is your
in.
main character song? What's the soundtrack to your current life?
Oh my god.
One song.
Gosh.
Oh my god, this is a really good question.
Oh my
No,
God.
I don't know the answer for me either. I'm
And
hoping you say something.
I know.
Recently,
So nervous. I'm like,
Oh, God.
recently,
profound, quickly.
Just do it.
Oh, I've been on an Arctic Monkeys vibe recently.
Interesting, yeah.
And 505 by Arctic Monkeys, it kind of kicks in. There's like a bit of a beat drop, and again I'm walking over the bridge, and it's like, and I crumble completely when you cry, and I'm like, I feel like this is the establishing shot of like a fun rom-com, and
Yes.
I'm like, I always feel very much like a frazzled English woman vibe, you know, like Bridget Jones kind of just like trying to not get stuff falling out my bag.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that playing while I'm walking around, I'm like, oh, everyone thinks I'm hot shit right now.
Oh, I love it. I tell you,
love
one
it.
of my favourites is I think it's a Carrie Underwood where it's like, and I dug my keys
Yes.
into the sand. And I'm like, I come back home, I'm like, Archie, I hate you.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You're dead to me.
yeah, I was like, how
Yeah.
could you do that? I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah, he's like, what?
He's like, I love you so much. I'm like, not right now.
That's it.
I'm angry, okay?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Okay, take us away, Katie. What's our next bit?
Overall, across all platforms, you are offering advice and support to over 219,500
Oh, Jesus.
people. That is almost
Oh,
a
so
quarter
good.
of a million people,
Ooh.
which is what that's like.
Crazy.
That's like the O2 Stadium.
Oh, my God.
Like, I can't even quick maths that. That's like 6 times over or something. 'Cause that's
could
the
Tell us so too.
Yeah, literally. You've got your own Eras tour.
Yes. You could fill that up with the amount of people that follow
Oh,
you.
my God, that's insane.
Seriously.
So do you ever feel pressure because of this? And where do you find your comfort and support when you find it overwhelming?
Oh, I do feel pressure because I feel like I have to have the right answers and all the advice at the right time. James is a really good grounding technique for me when I'm like
Yeah.
having my fluster moments of like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I describe myself as Kermit the Frog.
I love it.
Have you seen the meme where he's like,
Yes.
me, me? He's like, you're right. And I'm like, oh god, yes. Please help me. He's very much like a realist, pessimistic person.
Okay.
He's not pessimistic in terms of like, oh no, eel.
Yes.
He's just realistic. So if
Yeah.
I say to him like, oh, I'm not good enough, he's like, well, who's told you that? I'm like, well, no one.
Straightforward, isn't it?
Very, to the point, James is.
Yeah.
You need that in your life.
You do need
do.
that.
Yeah.
You do. And I think he's very good at being like realistic. Like he's almost like says to me like, are you correct? Was your brain telling you this? For example, I'll say to him like, I just don't feel happy today. I feel a bit ugly. And he'll go, has someone told you this? Has your brain told you this? I'm like, my brain. He says, well, I'm telling you this. I think you're beautiful. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you.
And you're like, and what else?
And
And
but it's a really good way of like grounding me and making me think, okay, maybe I'm just having a Kermit the Frog moment.
Yeah,
We will have it.
love that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Do you ever find it hard as well? Because I can assume people come to you with their own struggles and their
Yeah.
own concerns. Do you ever find that hard to kind of not take that on in many ways?
I've always said to people, I'm not a professional.
Yeah.
I'm just a girl who's gone through the same kind of things
Yeah.
as other people have. I would always advise them to ring, the Samaritans, which I've done before, which are fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic charity. Mind are amazing as well.
Yeah.
Reach out to someone who's near you.
Mm.
Because there's no point messaging me from like Australia. I can't be like, oh, I'm coming now.
Yeah.
On the way. Bit far.
Yeah.
But just,
Okay.
I'm always going to be there for them. I think in terms of like, the darker moments, there are professionals out there who can provide you the right support.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
And you spoke about James being a really big support to you, and we're going to play another little game.
Is he here?
Yeah.
yeah.
You good?
yeah.
He's like,
Eating his savoury pancake under there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to play another game. You spoke about the support that you get from other people. And we did a bit of research about how people have found they've got self-love from other people as well. And the top 3 things that they said they received from other people that made their self-love easier
Love this.
to do was, the first one was laughing with you.
Yeah.
The second one was listening to you.
Yeah.
And the third one was involving you.
Ooh.
And the little game we're going to play is we're going to do Snog, Marry, Avoid. Now, marry is, I could not live without this if the people around me did not do this with me.
Okay.
Snog is, now and again, yeah, you give
Avoid
it
it,
to me,
yeah.
and that's cool. Avoid is, oh, I don't need that.
Yeah.
Or I need it less than the others.
Okay.
If that's how you feel.
Listening to me is marry.
Oh, lovely.
I think listening to me, like actually listening to my words and like not just waiting for your turn to talk
Okay.
is a huge thing to me.
Yeah.
Don't involve me. It's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
You can avoid being involved.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm laughing, snog.
Laughing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like all the snogs. A lot
Yes.
of snogs. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. I
Yeah.
put that in the category. And the listening is such a huge one because
Huge.
it's like when you listen and talk to someone, but are you listening? Are you actively listening to you, mate? Or are you nodding thinking, oh, what should I do later? Or like,
Yeah.
oh, my,
Or
like
waiting
my
for your
eyelashes.
turn
are-
to go. Actually, I've done this. I've done it. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the biggest things as well that I always find with my boyfriend is if I tell you an issue or a problem or a concern, I don't need a solution right away. I'm just telling you
Yeah.
because I need to tell you.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like I need to get it off my chest.
That's a man thing. Though men are designed
Solution.
to fix things.
Solutions. Yes.
Women are designed to kind of the more emotional support.
Completely.
Men are like, right, DIY. How can I fix this? It's like, no,
Yes.
you can't.
What are you going to do to fix this? I'm like, nothing at the moment. I'm just telling you. I'm like,
And they're like, oh god,
yeah.
what do I do?
How do I fix that?
Yeah.
It's like, you can't.
It's interesting because I actually saw a TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm on
Gen Z
I'm
Google.
Yeah.
I'm on the literally I'm like I read an article.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I saw a
Wink,
TikTok.
wink.
I saw something like if you want a guy to be more interested in you, you come to him with an issue that he can solve.
How
And then it's like saving a
interesting.
damsel in distress kind of like psychological thing.
Wow.
It was wild.
That is wild.
But people were commenting and they were like, yeah, this works so well. Like, if you come being like, oh, I can't fix, could you fix this for me? And they're like, yes. Yes,
I'm a
I
lover.
can.
yeah, I'll take it
Like,
on.
on a subconscious level, they're like more attracted to you because
Wow.
they see you as a damsel in distress.
Oh,
I know.
Wild,
I
right?
wouldn't quite like that. I know.
I know.
Yeah.
I've got this, thank you.
Yeah.
Fine. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So it's like my feet could use a massage.
Yeah.
I could use with
use that.
$500.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm damsel now.
Yeah. So poor.
Yes. How about you? What category would you put it in?
I would say the same. I would say it's a hard one because I feel like laughing and listening I hold in a very similar regard, but I would say you want to be listened to.
You do.
Yeah.
You feel like you were going
absolutely.
insane if you were just saying the same things and they're like, what? So I would say listening, laughing. Again, I don't need to be involved. As long as I know you like me. Like,
Don't call me.
as long as we're good, you go
You
enjoy
do
yourself.
you. Yeah.
You
You
do
do
you.
you.
Don't be
I'll
bored.
do me.
I mean, that is so true with Katie as well. We both talk about how we need our own space.
Yeah.
And like, we obviously live together as well.
Yeah.
But Katie's very much like, we did halls together as well. We went to drama school and we used to call them Katie breaks because we'd all be in a group like
That's
having
like that.
fun, like, and Katie'd be like, off to the loo. And I'd be like,
I'd literally
wait
spend
to her.
like 25
I'd go
minutes.
find
Love
her,
that.
like,
Room.
where is she? And she'd literally be in her room. I shit you not, she wasn't on her phone. She would, main character again, she's got her song on,
Yeah.
looking out the window like this. And she'd
That's
have
funny.
a timer on her phone of 25
I-
minutes. And I'd be like, I'm like, Katie, you okay? She's like, I need my time.
We asked the listeners if they had any dilemmas that we wanted you to answer.
Just to be like, I killed a man last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do about that, Liv? Like,
I can fix it.
Yeah.
I'll have to get the men involved because they fix everything. Clearly.
Yeah, it's a man problem.
So, hey girls, hope you're having a good Monday. I'm glad you've got Liv on the podcast as I need her advice about something.
Aww.
It's nice.
I've recently just become single after being in a 6-year relationship from
wow.
20. So that's quite
6 years.
that's
Yes,
From
yeah.
20
from
as
20.
well.
They're like defining years.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
scary.
And as you said earlier about the jumps, like from 21 to 31, like
Yeah.
you change a lot. Okay.
I'm now going on a lot of dates. However, I found myself doubting myself on these dates and even apologizing for things I do or say.
Oh.
I was never like this before, but all of a sudden I feel like I've lost my own sense of my worth and confidence now I'm single. I know it sounds silly, but it's actually really annoying me because I don't want to lose that part of myself who knows her worth, but I can't shake this feeling. My ex and I are on good terms. Nothing bad happened. We've just grown apart and he's a lovely guy. Thanks, girls. I can't wait to get some guidance. Please keep me anonymous. Love you.
Oh, love you too.
God, that's so, I just got a hug.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
hard.
It is hard, I think, because like it's those defining years.
Yeah.
I feel like in your 20s, like I've been with James now for 16 years, Christ.
Wow.
And like in your 20s, you kind of almost become like a couple rather than just James and Liv. You
Yes.
become James and Liv,
Yes.
you know. So I would suggest take yourself out on solo dates. Find out about yourself. You spent like 6 years in a relationship. What do you enjoy?
Yeah.
Great advice.
What do you enjoy? What do you like doing? And you know, have your dates. That's fine.
Yeah.
But have some you time.
Date yourself again.
Date
Yes.
yourself again.
Yeah,
Yes, that's so
absolutely.
important.
Well, fantastic advice. And I think, you know, when the Liv and James,
Yeah.
like you are so defined by that.
Yeah.
And that can be hard to when you come out of a relationship. My sister's recently come out of a relationship. She's been in relationships for years, you know,
Yeah.
she hasn't ever really been single, and she's navigating that, and she's, you know, finding the trickeries and
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yes.
now I'm me, you know, what
Yes.
does Lily mean, you know, what's it
Oh, God.
who am I, you know. And I think that dilemma, I think we should reassure her that
Yeah.
it isn't universal just to her. I think other
Yeah.
people feel that too.
100%.
But that's great, fantastic advice.
Yeah.
Date yourself, find
I would also
prioritise that.
say, sorry to interrupt.
No,
Your
go for
worth is not defined by someone you're dating.
Yes.
Your worth comes from something deep within inside you. You do not need someone to complete you. You're enough as you are.
Yes.
But you need to realise that. You need to realise that.
Yeah.
You.
No, it's really
realise
not. Thank you.
I do. Yeah, I do.
I needed that.
I tell you, whenever you have a bad day, we'll be like, Liv, could you say that?
Yeah,
again?"
okay.
No, honestly, it is one of those things you find that I remember. Like I've been single for quite a while, and trying to go online and trying to be, I find myself often comparing, being like, there are so many people I know who are dating, and I can't find dates. And then you're like, what the fuck?
What's wrong with me?
And I'm
I
the
the
issue.
issue?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so easy. And I think especially coming out of a relationship, I remember the last relationship I was in, I then was just completely went into a cave. I was like, no man, that's quite scary. And I feel like I'm just crawling out of that now. So it's a really hard one that you almost want to get back on the horse.
Yeah.
But you also want to be like, I'm okay by myself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Trying to balance that. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, it's so true. I think you just need to find out who you are because you spent so many years with someone else.
Yeah.
I think you almost I feel like, even though I've been with James for so many years, I like having my solo dates.
Lovely.
I need to have my solo dates without him just going on about silly skateboarding shit. I just need to have like a time for me.
Yeah.
So I am the most important person in my life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You are.
He's the second,
Yeah.
maybe the third, fourth.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Ninth.
He's up there.
He's there.
He's there somewhere.
He's in that realm.
So yeah, date yourself.
But you also wouldn't be able to be there for those important people if you weren't looking after yourself as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Let's quote that. Let's quote that. Okay.
Yes.
No, but thank you. That's great advice, and I hope that helps to our lovely listener. And of course, we'll keep you anonymous always. Okay, so let's go on to our final little bits. So we always ask icks to our guests, but also to each other.
Yeah.
We usually do icks of the week, but when we have a guest on, we do icks for specific things. So our specific icks are stereotypes or opinions that are outdated or unrealistic when referring to self-love.
Okay.
What are your icks? And before we go into them, we have to do an ick sound. So we say icks in an icky way. And I'm sorry, Liv, but you're going to have to do it with us.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Icks! Fantastic! Fantastic! It's always a hit and miss when we have a guest. We think, God, please get the vibe. Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay. I think my biggest ick is thinking it's going to come tomorrow. As in, you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like, I am self-loved.
Yes.
No, it's a journey. It's a long process.
Okay.
And it's okay to make mistakes
Okay.
in self-love.
Yeah.
It's okay to think, you know what, I'm not having a good day today.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a bed day. I'm going to rot in bed like the rat I am. That's fine as well.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Universal, you know?
Yeah.
It's fine. What are your icks?
Oh, that's a lovely
It's
one.
hard though,
That's,
isn't it?
It's really hard, yeah. I think the time stamp was a great one. I think being an ick of you have to be a certain way to love yourself.
Oh,
And
yeah.
by that I mean there are so many things on TikTok, but but the reference I'm making is to be have the clean girl aesthetic, or to do this routine, to do Pilates every week. That will help your self-love.
Yeah.
It's like everyone is so different.
Yeah.
And the things that make me feel good are not going to make you feel good or you feel good.
Yeah.
But for me, that makes me feel fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think an ick is, it's again going to the comparing. Don't compare yourself to their routine.
Yeah.
Oh, Liv does this, I must do that. Yeah.
No, don't do
yeah,
me.
Yeah. You know.
That's my advice. My God.
Because that also may not be able to fit in your routine
Exactly.
of your schedule or your life, or even financially. You might,
Yeah.
well, I can't pay for Pilates every week. So,
Yeah.
you know, how about you? What did you think?
I think mine would be that it has to be so performative, or has to be so I'm doing this and I'm going to be larger than life, and that means I've got self-love and I'm very self-confident. I think self-love can be something that can make you quite uncomfortable, doing things that are uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And having to put yourself in scenarios that you usually wouldn't, because what's comfortable isn't serving you.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So I think
Lovely.
it's
Lovely.
just
Nice point. Really
Thank
nice
you.
point there.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Delicious.
I think
She
it's
might have
just
stole the show there. Fuck off now. She did a really good job there.
it's just the assumption that you have to. A confident person can look so different in so many ways, and doing things that are uncomfortable can actually be the highest form of self-love.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
so true.
Yes, yeah, that is completely
I think
true.
putting it as a goalpost, when I achieve
Yeah.
this, I will be confident, which I think I've definitely done in the past.
Yeah, I think that's said for everything. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be happy when I have X, Y, Z.
Yes.
No, you
Yeah.
probably won't.
Yeah.
Find happiness within the now.
Yeah.
I have a question for you girls.
Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm really scared. I'm like,
What are your bank accounts?
I'm like, Liv, we asked the questions. This is scary.
So,
Okay, I'm excited.
what's the hardest thing you've learned about yourself during your self-love journey? the most important thing you've learned about yourself?
Confidence.
Yeah.
I think it's something that I've said before on the podcast, but something that I've struggled with for years and years is I feel like I used to make myself very small to fit others and always be there for other people, but kind of realize other people weren't necessarily there for me. But I always felt that's kind of what I deserved. I was like the helper.
Yeah.
And since meeting you as well, you're such a headstrong woman. And the way you assert yourself, I feel like learning that, asserting myself and saying, actually, that hurt my feelings, because I would always just brush my own feelings under the rug to not make them feel like they've upset me.
Yeah, you've grown, haven't you?
So actually going, no, that's not right and that's upset me isn't a selfish thing and isn't going to cause that person to be like, well, fuck you then.
It's boundary.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think one of the most difficult things, I went through something recently, like medically, and obviously like and stuff, and it was like such a big part of my life, and I was like scared that if like once something had happened, like, will people see me differently, will I view myself differently, like all this kind of stuff, and I didn't. And well, I did in a certain way, but in like the best possible way, and also in like a relationship, I was scared of, will this change what you think of me? And I think with my whole self-love journey, it's like, God, you know what? What actually matters is what you think of yourself. Why am I stressing for myself?
Yeah.
When in my heart, I'm like, you go, girl.
Yes.
Like, I think you're amazing. And I'm like, yeah, listen to her, because she does matter.
Yes,
That little smiley face does matter.
Absolutely.
So I think it's accepting that, oh my God, of course you're going to have days. Like, don't get me wrong. I do think, oh my God, if I upset you, of course I'm going to do that. I think, did I piss you off there? That is going to happen. Of course it is. But to reassure yourself that life goes on. You're not going to crumble.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Okay, so our last bit of the section, we always end on our questions. So our serious question and our silly question.
Yay!
You got to go into life with a bit of silliness.
Stay silly.
I can't remember who's got which. I think I've got silly.
I've got serious.
You hit us with the serious then.
So my serious question is, if there was a time where you wish you stood up for yourself more or had more confidence, would you go back to it and rectify it with how, like, would you approach it differently if you could go back and redo the scenario?
Lovely.
No. I wouldn't. I feel like everything that's happened in my life has made me who I am today.
Absolutely.
Why would I it's like the butterfly effect.
Yes.
You change one thing, it changes the course of your entire life.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd love to go back in time and change a million things I've done. But I wouldn't be here today without those mistakes,
Quite right.
those moments, those conflicts,
Absolutely.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with every part of my life everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm meant to have gone through those things in order to be here today.
Absolutely.
So I would not change it, no.
Oh, I love
Love
that.
it. And I completely agree.
I
The things
agree.
with, I don't know what those specific examples, but everything happens for a reason.
100%.
And it happens so that you can build up that knowledge of how you get through it. And, and without that, how would you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so my silly question.
question.
Here we go. Okay, it's good one. Would you rather, okay, when you're having a bit of a moment, like a self-doubt moment, okay, would you rather your favourite, like, bad bitch anthem, maybe it's Jason Derulo, okay?
It's not, sorry, Jason.
You're having a bit of a moment, like, oh God, self-doubt. And whenever you have this moment of self-doubt, your bad bitch anthem, yours specifically, bad bitch anthem comes on throughout the whole world. So there is like a universal boom system so everyone hears it. Like if you're right now, it comes on and we're all like,
there's something about day again.
Oh yeah.
Twice today, Christ.
Not again, really. No one knows it's yours specifically, so they're not like, Liv's feeling bad. This just comes on and everyone's like, whether they're at the office or everyone hears this.
Wow.
Or you're having the same feelings, a bit of self-doubt. 5 people in your life, doesn't have to be family, doesn't have, just people in your life, hold banners up, a full Love Actually moment, hold banners up of things about you that they love, okay? And so single words, so it could be your kindness or your positivity. And they just stand, wherever you are, so you might be in bed, you look out your bedroom window, they're all there.
I'd be concerned. I've watched too many horror films, I'm sorry. I'm like,
What are they
Christ.
doing? They'd be twitching.
Kindness, no! I love them both, but
Okay.
I think if I could have the first one, but just for me,
Okay.
I think just because like I'm a headphone user through and through. There's nothing more empowering than a moment to yourself. But like, duh, and you're like, I'm better than you. This channel.
Oh, it's so funny. That's lovely.
I do like the idea of having someone outside my bedroom window holding a sign.
Yeah, genuinely, that's so fun. But it's so like personal because I even asked this question to you and my boyfriend earlier, and like you were both so distinct on your own answers.
Yeah,
like, 100%.
yeah.
You know, he was like 100% the banners. I was like, shit. I was like, I get home, like, love you. You know, and you were like, oh, you were the music. You were like 100% the music. You know, but yeah, every time we see you, we're gonna have to just have your little anthem there. We'll be like, playing your anthem. Got to keep you feeling good.
Yes.
Can we ask maybe what's one of your bad bitch anthem songs?
So there's one song called Jericho by a singer called Iniko, and it's this very empowering song, and it's their pronouns are they them.
Okay.
And they sing about how they are higher than space. They're made from all their ancestors. They don't. There's a line which I love. It says, "I don't need gravity. I just need growth." I was like, fuck, I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, you don't need to be held down
Yeah.
to be raised up.
Lovely.
I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God,
it's such a beautiful song. I recommend if you're listening out there to this podcast, listen to the song.
Okay.
It's just so empowering. I feel like I'm lifted. I'm like, yeah. It's so good.
Oh, that's so lovely. We just wanted to thank you so much.
Of course.
For today.
Thank you for
We've
having me.
absolutely loved you. We've
I've
been
loved
talking about it
it.
for the last few weeks. Can't wait till they've come. This is going to be
Like
so much fun.
Christmas
And you honestly, and like your energy, your presence.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so
thank you.
warm and
Of course,
welcoming.
yeah, of
And you
course.
know, it's always a scary thing when we have a
I can
guest
imagine,
on,
yeah.
but you've been absolutely
I've had the
amazing.
most
Thank
fun.
you so much.
It's so chaotic. I love it.
Oh, thank
loved
you.
it. Loved
And
it. Loved
listeners,
it.
I hope you love Liv. I know you're so excited for her to come on the podcast. And have a fantastic Monday and week. Love you guys. Let's wave them off. You ready? Bye.
Bye, everybody. Toodaloo.